Greetings and good evening, everybody, or morning, afternoon, whatever it is, where you is. Welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark, the place where we go to have fun. That's right. And with me, as always, is one of the funnest gentlemen I know.
No.
The one, the only, the original Mexican Iron Man. Mike, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, it was me, the funniest guy? Oh, cool. Hey.
funniest, both.
Hi, everybody.
You're all about fun.
Arriba.
And you try to find the fun in everything.
I tried. Do you see my latest video I put on my YouTube channel yesterday?
No, I didn't. You did a new video? I didn't get an alert.
I know.
I haven't either, unfortunately.
What is it?
I'll show it. It's a special. It's probably the best unboxing ever. Well, let's introduce Jason.
Yeah, let's do that first. While you do that, we got with us today, once again, Jace Fox. How you doing, my friend, over at 540 Studio?
I'm doing pretty well. Just been chilling, working on new intros and stuff for the channel. So, yeah. So I'm pretty good. Thank you. And hello, everybody out there.
What time is it?
We're glad to have you. Yeah, what time is it?
1:20 at night.
In the morning. 1:30 in the morning.
Andre is such a wuss. No, I'm kidding.
It is.
This is Midnight's Edge after dark.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning for him over there. Oh, well. Yeah, because you're from the same area as Andre, so that's what's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we have an unboxing video. I love these because I loved your unboxing video for Ghostbusters. It made me smile. Because Mike is such a little kid when he gets stuff in the mail. So here we go. Here's
Watch you say this one.
All right, we're opening this thing up here.
Turn it up.
What is this? Examine by. Oh,
how do you not cut yourself?
Oh, I know what this is. I ordered this like 2 or 3 months ago. It's a custom Etsy. Uh-oh, is this what I think it is? Could this be? Could this be? Oh my God, it is.
Is it rabbit chickens? Holy shit.
Look.
Oh, Lord.
Rabbit chickens.
Oh, man.
Rabbit chickens. I don't even know which way is front. Is that
Nobody knows which way is front.
No. Wait, which way is the front? I don't know. Look. Rabbit chickens. 2 of them.
Those are pretty good. You got those on Etsy?
Rabbit chickens.
Yeah, I had them custom ordered.
Oh, nice.
Nice one.
Considering Etsy, yeah, that's pretty good, Mike. That's awesome. So we actually have some mascots.
Yeah, so I ordered 2 of them, custom and Etsy. I totally forgot I even ordered these things. This is literally like I did that over 2.5 months ago, maybe even been 3 months ago.
Probably the night you got home from the movie, you're all drunk and shit, and just like,
yeah, I was like hammered and stuff. But yeah, I ordered them like 3 months ago, and they came from some Etsy shop up in Canada. And I didn't even expect them. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I wear those gloves because they're anti-knife.
I kind of figured because
they're for cutting meat and stuff. So if I
was just saying, you're a little too happy there with the knife, I can understand why.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's like giving a little kid scissors, right?
Kinda.
But that's amazing. Okay, for those, because I see a few people are very confused. Evidently, there's a few people who are not up to speed with the rabbit chicken.
What?
So here you go, kids.
Do you like rabbit? Do you like chicken? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have both at the same time, but can never find both at the same place? Well, Disney and Shang-Chi have taken care of that for you. That's right. You can get yourself rabbit chicken meat, now available at every Walmart and Costco. What you waiting for? Move your feet and get some rabbit chicken meat. It's good.
I gotta make a new commercial. I got an idea for a newer one. It's like, it's got
so good.
It's like I'll just a bunch of piano music and stuff, and it just shows a bunch of fields and stuff, and like down home, the farm is the place where we raise the best meats. And it's just like, with love and affection, Mexican Iron Man raises each and every rabbit chicken one by one, carefully. And all that kind of stuff, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just
right. And they gotta make a noise. Wait, they don't have a mouth. They can't make a noise, huh?
Because I didn't get in the 4 wings and 6 legs. They were made for eating.
Free range, from range to table.
From range to table.
Yep.
Oh, so great.
God's greatest edible creation.
So you're gonna go from happy from watching that video to sad. Guess, or you're gonna get mad right now. Guess what the temperature was today in Hilton Head Island?
Oh God, probably in the 70s.
71.
Oh, that sounds gorgeous.
I
One
had
of
to
these
turn the,
days, I'm gonna show up at your doorstep, man. You're just gonna be like, "Oh shit."
and I got lots of windows, so it actually got hotter inside the house. It got up to 76. I had to turn on the air conditioning.
I love that weather. That'd be like perfect for me. That's like my ideal. 69 to 71 is just like ideal.
Yep.
Carlos, yes, John Williams is going to return to Star Wars. Why don't we get into that? It's a good
Yeah,
way
we
to
can talk
start the
about that.
show.
Oh yeah.
So this is probably the biggest news of the day so far, outside of Tom getting into an argument with StreamYard. Don't even get me started on that right now. But here, let me bring up the story. Mike sent it to me earlier. John Williams is finding his way back to the Star Wars universe, or at least we know of he's going to be doing a new Obi-Wan theme for the Obi-Wan show, at least. We don't know if he's going to actually score the entire series. It doesn't sound like that's the case, but this was an exclusive to Variety. More than 2 years after completing... Oh, curious, go away. I hate these video things. After more than 2 years after completing his 9th Star Wars movie, composer John Williams is returning to the Jedi fold with a theme for Obi-Wan Kenobi. For those who don't know, he did not score Rogue One or Solo, and he did not score the Clone Wars as well. Williams has written the musical signature for the continuing adventures of the character played by Ewan McGregor, airing on Disney Plus beginning May 25th. He recorded last week with a Los Angeles orchestra under tight security, sources say. It is a coup for both Lucasfilm and Disney, considering the 5-time Oscar winner rarely composes for television. His last theme for weekly dramatic series was Amazing Stories, clear back in 1985. Although I do think he did like the theme for the Olympics one year. And like, what was it? What year were they in LA? Oh, that was 80s. Oh, maybe even before. Maybe that was when he did it.
Yeah, it was before that.
It might have been. And then I think he did the NBC nightly news theme, but I thought that might have also been before that as well.
And he's 90 now.
If Donnie Pearson's in the chat, he would know. Like he is in the chat. So Donnie, tell me on that one. Excuse me, I had to cough there for a second.
But he's like 90 now, and that's insane.
Yeah, that's just it. He's kind of semi-retired. Let's see here. Well, and then they bring it up right here, actually. Although he has written 2 for PBS series, Masterpiece Theater in 2000, Great Performances in 2009, and his news and Olympic themes written decades ago continue to air on NBC. See, if I had just kept reading, that's what happens when you don't read the article before you get on the show, right? And you're dealing with bullshit. Sometimes. Williams' Star Wars score is legendary. He won an Oscar for the original in 1977 and received nominations for 5 of the sequels. The Empire Strikes Back, The Return of the Jedi in 80 and 83, followed by The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker in 2015, 2017, and 20. He didn't get nominated for the prequels?
That's shocking.
Wow. Yeah, because
that is shocking.
Duel of the Fates.
That's my favorite music of the whole thing.
Amazing. That's one of the most amazing songs ever.
When I play with my lightsabers, I always play that music.
Don't you hear that noise when you hit a lightsaber?
Yes.
When I'm in the garage, I'm like,
yes.
I was just playing with the lightsabers yesterday.
You just keep doing the we were doing good. It was probably all out of sync on the other end, but it sounded good on my end.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Tom, we should fight lightsabers someday.
You will probably win.
Oh yeah.
I seen you take Mikey. I seen you take Paulie, and I'm like, holy shit, Michael kicked my ass. Then.
And he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
That's what I'm fucking saying.
And I sliced that Mexican.
That proves Yoda right, though.
Yeah, but Paulie's like a Jedi warrior with jiu-jitsu. Like with one touch of his finger, like I'll just crumble.
Uh-oh.
What?
He's here.
Who is? What the hell? How did he? What, I summoned him? I just mentioned his name and he shows up?
But that just proves that a Jedi could beat anybody.
That's
Yoda
what I
right.
mean. You see,
size matters not.
That's like Paulie with that jiu-jitsu Jedi thingy he has. I'm telling you, bro, it's real.
He couldn't beat you with his jiu-jitsu power because you.
Well, I kind of I kind of let him pick his own lightsaber, and I let him pick the pretty one with the big. You know, I knew.
Hey, that's his fault, not yours.
Well, I kind of set him up. I feel bad because I kind of put like the fancy pants, pretty looking lightsaber, and then I put the one that I know I whoop ass with, and I knew he'd take the fancier, prettier one, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, and then this is true. I know Alexander Courage took over for the Superman films for Williams back in the day, and they were friends. Yeah. Who took over for the Jaws one? I'm trying to remember. It wasn't him for that one though. It wasn't Courage. It was somebody else though. But anyhow, because he did do the score for Jaws 2, which is actually I actually argue that the score for Jaws 2 is better than Jaws 1 because I love the new underwater theme he made for that one. But anyhow, moving on. Williams, who turned 90 in February. Oh, actually, I skipped a beat here. He also wrote the theme for Solo: A Star Wars. Oh, he did write the Solo Star Wars Story theme. I didn't know that. In 2018, and Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge theme in 2019. The latter won him his most recent Grammy, one of 6 awarded for his Star Wars compositions over the years. Williams, who turned 90 on February 8th, is remarkably busy. He is composing the scores for Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans, due out in November, and the 5th Indiana Jones film, due next year. Why don't you just... really, what does he got to do for that? I have all the Indiana Jones scores, and honestly, I can barely tell the difference between them. They're pretty...
I've never thought about it.
They're pretty all... I mean, outside of just a new theme he kind of adds in for each one, they're pretty much exactly the same. Like you have the march and you have like the little like romantic theme, but other than that, I mean,
I need to watch the movies again, so I must listen to
like
that.
in the second one in Temple of Doom, you've got like the kids music, the dun 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 dun, dun which would be like Short Round's theme or whatever. And then like I can't remember what he did for the third film. That's how immemorable it is. But I'm sure that Sean Connery got a theme that I just can't remember. And then outside of whatever he added for the stupid monkeys and the last one, I don't think he did anything new for that one, really. Like that one seems like just the greatest hits album. I've only listened to bits of it. But no, I mean, it's kind of cool that he's coming back. But let's see if there's anything more here that really has anything to really go with. Williams scored the original Obi-Wan Kenobi as played by Alec Guinness with a theme that became better known as that of the Force, the spiritual philosophical beliefs of the Jedi Knights in the Old Republic, as a composer explained in 1977, used in the famous throne room scene that concluded the first Star Wars film. It is not known that if he reprised that or possibly a theme from the George Lucas directed Williams scored prequels that featured McGregor, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith from 95 to 2005, or has written an entirely new piece. So basically, you don't know shit. The TV stories are set to take place. That's really all this article is, and that's why I was kind of like resistant in reading it in the first place, because I already knew the basics, is that they don't know shit. They don't know if he's composing the entire series. They just know he's doing a theme for now, which means he's probably just doing the basic. He's giving him a new theme, I bet. It's probably going to be kind of a mix between the original Force theme and something a little new. That's what I'm willing to bet. Otherwise, what the hell do you bring him in for?
It can't be bad. Well, you bring him in for you know why you bring him in is because you want. Come on, it's like these guys are constantly looking for nostalgia and member berries, and what better member berry is there than the composer of the music we love?
Well, unless you're going to actually have it. I mean, okay, there is a plausibility he could be scoring the entire series, but that's a lot. Even though I know it's a limited, shorter series, that's a lot for him at his age to be scoring. So, like, I don't see him scoring, 5-6 hours worth of music. But if he just does a new theme, that I can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
And somebody who might have something to say about this, the one, the only script doctor. I was so naked without you, sir.
I don't want you to put me on.
You what?
Don't wear me.
No, but I just don't feel like I feel like I'm missing my left leg or something when you're not here.
Oh, well, okay.
So
like Mikey's my right leg, you're my left leg. It's like without you two, I can't walk.
Here's your middle leg.
Can we be arms? Because I don't like where my head would be in that scenario.
I don't want to be any appendage of Tom's, truthfully.
I wouldn't either, Script. That's probably a good that's a good philosophy in life.
I don't want to be appendage of anybody, actually. So yeah, don't take any offense to that.
Okay, fine. Mikey's my heart, and you're my spine and brain. Where have you been?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm working on legal stuff for
I know,
for
I'm
some
just picking on
projects
you.
in the future. But yeah, it looks like Disney is desperate to get some attention on their Obi-Wan show, so
Yeah.
they decided, hey, John Williams, can you work for 5 minutes? And
yeah. Like he's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
gonna do the intro or the closing credits or something, right?
Well, the thing is,
Some
he's just scoring parts of it. He's not conducting. He's not technically doing the full composition of the show. He's just there.
I figure
It's
he's
just
just
there,
coming
yeah.
up with a new theme is all. Yeah.
Maybe, or just a remix
Yeah.
of Obi-Wan's theme from the first
That's what
film.
I've said too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
something
like
like
this is
that, I
clearly a
think.
stunt move. I mean, it's clearly a stunt move. Like Williams has said, he's kind of like officially retired. I think he might be helping on the latest Indiana Jones, but that might just be superficial.
That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was saying before you got in here, because
Yeah.
outside of a few minor themes here and there, like the Indiana Jones one is the one where he's pretty much recycled most of his music throughout the
I don't really
series.
have new themes for the Crystal Skull.
I don't at all. That's what I was just saying before you got in here. I can think of Short Round's theme, and that's it. I can't even think of his. I'm pretty sure his dad had a theme in the third film, but I can't think of it.
Well,
Eh,
the chase theme, when he's chasing after the Ark and he's like hanging by his whip by like the chassis, that's almost
Right.
that was remixed for when he's on the tank in
Yeah.
Last
Yeah,
Crusade.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's mostly just reused stuff, because outside of Short Round getting a new theme, I don't really remember too much offhand. And that's where they just give him the little
Yeah.
do 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 do,
Yeah.
that little thing. Yeah.
A
But
little
no,
bit of a
like I
Hong
just
Kong
that's all
thing
I
there.
see him is giving, like that's pretty much exactly what I said. Script is either it's going to be a completely new theme, or they'll just remix the classic Force theme with some kind of new little added bonus to it. But yeah, I don't see him doing a 5-hour whatever mini series this ends up being. So I
Yeah.
think that's what it ends up altogether, something like that.
Can
It's only
still
like
a shit
5 or
show
6
either way.
episodes, ain't it?
If it's 5 or 6 episodes, but what are they going to be like? First episode is 20 minutes, and next
Yeah,
one
I
like
don't know.
45. Like the all scatterbrained time constraints.
Is it actually?
which
Wait, isn't it only 4 episodes?
I don't know what it
I
is.
can't remember now. I know they shortened it. I know it's not nearly as long as Boba Fett, I think. Because
Well,
it's more or
then
less
that
like
just
a
means
long
7 or
movie.
less.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's only like 5 or 6 episodes or something like that. Somebody in the chat knows. I can't remember. They shortened the amount of episodes it was going to be, because it was originally going to be 8, I think. 6
Yeah,
episodes. Thank you,
yeah,
Chris.
it is
Yeah.
6. Yeah. I looked up. I did look it up. It was only 6 episodes.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your answer. And I still, even at only 6 episodes, I don't see them having John Williams score that much shit.
Well,
Can't
no,
see him doing that
he'll
much.
do one song, and then every time they use it, they'll give him credit and a paycheck, which is par for the course. Good for them. Good for Williams for getting some extra cash for him and his family.
Yeah. As
Well-
far as I can get the information, it looks like Williams is only gonna do the theme for the series, as far as I could
Yeah.
find.
Well, that's what I came into this knowing too. And I didn't even know he did the theme for Solo, but I think somebody else did the rest of the music. He just came up with a new theme for Solo.
Yeah.
I can't remember offhand, but yeah, I don't think he scored the entire film.
Well,
And if
let me
they
ask
really want to do something, just get like Joel Goldsmith to come in, and if you want like a younger notary musical composer that can do John Williams like stuff.
Well, doesn't John Williams have like an assistant now that kind of handles most of his shit anyway?
Well,
I can't remember the guy's name, but
there's a guy that actually talks with his staff, but Williams is still usually up at the front, as the maestro, so to speak, making sure the tempo is correct and all that stuff. He's still
but I could have
involved.
swore somebody was telling me there was somebody who's handled most of his stuff the last few years.
But regardless of the mechanics, the whole point is this is designed to get a positive member-bearing
Yeah,
reaction
yeah,
out of the
clearly.
fandom.
Well, and,
Yeah,
and I've said this.
Superficial, yeah.
Obi-Wan is it for them. This is it. This is their last shot now, because
Yep.
Star Wars has fallen so far off
Yep.
the deep end that even Boba Fett couldn't save it. And Boba Fett's one of the
fuck
most
no.
popular characters of all time in Star Wars. So Obi-Wan is up there. And you have not the original actor, but the original actor from the prequels, who was one of the more well-received parts of that, right? Like across the board, most people will say, like, yeah, Ewan McGregor knocked it out of the park. So like,
Oh, he did, but like, what the irony is that Ewan McGregor right now is more age appropriate for the
Yeah.
prequels than
Yeah.
he is for.
Actually, I
even
think
though
he
Alec
is this.
Alec Guinness was like 59. We did Star Wars, but he was playing, at least at the time, and he said this in interviews, he was playing someone who was probably closer to 100 years. Like that's how he was told, and then they
Right.
changed that, because God forbid there's any consistency between the original trilogy, the prequels, and then thereafter, right?
Because that's the irony, I think, that's funny here about this whole thing, is even though this is supposed to be like 10 years before A New Hope, Ewan McGregor is actually closer to Alec Guinness's actual age was when he played Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I always thought it was a big mistake in the prequels to make Alec Obi-Wan still like a 20-year-old of that nature. I thought that was
he's 50 now. He's 50.
Yeah, he's 50
Yeah.
something now.
He's 50 now. He will be
He's basically
51
age
next month.
appropriate.
Yeah. He's basically age appropriate, yeah, because I remember one of the interviews where he was talking about how he had wonderful time with Star Wars, but the only thing he didn't like is the fact that everybody on set was treating him like he was a 100-year-old man, because they were all told Obi-Wan Kenobi as a character is supposed to be a 100-year-old man, and he's like, I'm only 59, 60.
Well, they did age him up with makeup and stuff between episode 2 and 3. They did a little bit, but not.
He grew a beard and a mullet.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they did add a little bit to him, but not much. Not enough, in my opinion, because it was supposed to jump quite a bit between episode 1 and 2, and it just didn't seem like
a decade.
Yeah, for him, it didn't seem like it was that much of a jump. But it'll be interesting to see how this turns out anyway.
I think the show's gonna be shit. So
I think so.
I know it's gonna be shit.
It's a superficial show. There's no real, like, the only worthy story to tell with Obi-Wan is why Owen and Obi-Wan aren't like friends to some degree. Because here's this Jedi who's like, I'm going to hand over your nephew through marriage only, not a biological nephew, but a nephew through marriage only to raise. And I'm just not going to be a family friend anymore. And then just walk away. It's an open-ended question, which I think the prequel trilogy should have addressed by actually having a rivalry between Owen and Obi-Wan over Anakin's future, if they actually were related more so. Like, Owen could have married Beru, and Beru could have been Anakin's sister, and that would have had a far more deeper meaning and relationship, because Anakin was the one that was freed and his mom and sister were left behind, and he has this pain. Like, so many opportunities that were established in the original trilogy that were never questioned or explored in the prequels because no one was there to do so.
Well, I heard a possible breakdown of quick breakdown of what this Obi-Wan series is about, and I don't know if I should buy it or not. So I took it with a huge grain of salt.
We call those salt cubes.
Yeah. Like a cow level. But if this is the case, because then I don't know if you've heard anything at all, Script, and I wish Culture was here because he kind of seems to know a little bit about this stuff. But from what I heard is we might actually get off planet. It might actually be about him having, and I heard something about Jimmy Smits might be in it too. And
I heard Jimmy Smith's probably in it, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard it has to do with him, with something. Leia's under possible attack, so it has to be. It's about him protecting young Leia.
But Leia never met Obi-Wan.
I guess, but I don't know. But they never met each other. That doesn't mean they necessarily meet each other in the show itself. But I guess this is supposed to set up a bit of more of why him and Jimmy Smits are so close. But yeah, that's what I was told. Again, take it with a big grain of salt.
Yeah, it's still gonna be shit. It sounds.
Well, the other part too is like
bad.
Another part they're missing from the prequels, which maybe the Clone Wars cartoon elaborate on. I never watched it because I didn't find its purpose, but maybe it's the story is that because again, Kenobi served under Organa in the Clone Wars, right? So, and Organa wasn't actually really. He was only in the third movie, maybe the second for a little bit. I can't remember.
I don't think he was in the second.
He was only in Revenge, right? Yeah.
I think he was only in Revenge. No.
I can't remember.
No, I think he was in Attack of the Clones.
He was in 2. He was in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, he was in Attack of the Clones as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just very shortly. But he played a bigger part in
there's
3,
those two characters don't even have a relationship till like the last few moments of Revenge of the Sith, and it's like, well, that's a missed opportunity as well. Because I mean,
well, maybe that's
he's
what
a general
doing
in an army, and he served under King Organa. That's kind of a significant thing, is it not? And yet we didn't see that in the prequel, so I guess it is only in the Clone Wars.
For me, there is only one Clone Wars show, and that's the 2003 to 2005. The Clone Wars doesn't exist for me. Yeah. Just the original show.
Well, we also have another person joining us, the one, the only Polly from Midnight Espanol and Latino Slant. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, Polly.
Hey, hola. I'm great.
I sent you the link for a reason, actually, because we're gonna get past this John Williams stuff unless you got something to say about it.
You're never too old to keep creating and being a light in the world, and he's proof. Betty White's proof my Nana, who's still alive, 94. Proof that no matter what age, you can keep on inspiring. So it's amazing.
I've embraced the same lessons in my dating life.
You're gonna go there?
I'm just saying. I mean, while we're being inspirational. Hey, Paulie, guess what? On this panel,
I said inspirational, not perspirational.
Oh, that was a good one. Hey, Paulie, we right now have more Latino representation on this panel than Hollywood ever does.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elvis one. I just saw that.
I love this trailer.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god, Paulie brought
yes.
this to my attention.
Yeah,
I saw it like
early
early this morning.
Hey, script.
How's
Hey,
it going,
Jason.
Polly?
Oh, great, bro.
Are we going to show the trailer or we're going to get clipped for it?
I'd like to, but
we don't know. Huh? Let's not do it. Let's not risk it.
I got a clip for showing the Lucy and Desi thing. I gotta fight that.
What?
They have a documentary coming out on Amazon.
Yeah, I saw your video.
Fucking hate Amazon.
I was in the live stream when you released it, when you premiered it.
Oh, Amazon and Netflix are two of the worst.
Yeah.
They already did. You barely showed any of it, Paul.
Well, no, I showed the whole thing, but I'm gonna fight it. It's like,
that's ridiculous.
Hello? Stupid.
So yeah, Baz Luhrmann's back, and he brought us Elvis.
It looks
it looks like it's the story between him and the Colonel.
It is, with Tom Hanks playing the Colonel.
Yep.
I mean, what is that accent he's got rocking?
He's trying to do the Southern Fried accent, but
it sounded a bit German, actually.
Yeah,
it sounded like bad European immigrant wannabe. Don't know. It was incredibly distracting.
I mean, is there something about
really? I liked it.
Colonel, I don't know. I mean, is he an immigrant or something?
I thought he had a Southern accent.
That's what I thought.
I thought he had a Southern accent. I thought he was also I thought he got his rank because he was in the war.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And that's where he met Elvis. That's my understanding of this.
Yeah, that's my understanding as
well.
No,
they met before.
They did meet before the war?
Which war, though, are we talking about?
The only one that Elvis served in, which is the second.
Yeah, Elvis served in the Second World
Okay, here we go.
Korean War.
Here we go. Colonel Thomas Andrew Parker was a
Colonel probably in the Second World War, though.
Okay, Dutch-born musical entrepreneur. That's it. And then he had that little American. Yeah. I'm sorry?
I said, so he was Dutch-born.
Dutch-born, and I'm trying to see. He immigrated illegally at the age of 20.
Oh, wow.
He changed his name.
Shit, maybe this movie should be about him.
He was a carnival worker. That's probably where he met.
Learned how to be a promoter, yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably where he has that strange accent, because it was all, he worked with also country music singers.
That's what I was kind of wondering. Well, maybe Tom Hanks was onto something we didn't know.
And it looks like he was around the Louisiana area. So that explains it, Mike. Why everything's so, yeah. Baz Luhrmann's a hack director. Oh, man.
I will say the cinematography is very much to walk the line in this trailer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Baz Luhrmann, I like him, but he is a little pretentious.
He talks way too much.
Yeah, he's and when it comes to his filmmaking, some of it is like I liked Romeo and Juliet, but a lot of it's over the fucking top. And I could not get into Moulin Rouge. And I know people love that fucking movie, but
I hated that movie.
Nobody saw Strictly Ballroom, I don't think.
And I don't think too many people saw that either. I remember when it came out, but that's about it. Yeah.
that was the first one, and I mean, it was that Romeo and Juliet got popular because it was the cast.
Yes, and the music, and yeah.
Well, I don't remember much of the music in Romeo and Juliet. Moulin Rouge was nothing but contemporary music into a.
Well, so was Romeo and Juliet. They had like two soundtracks.
I'm just reading some quick cliff notes on Colonel's life.
Cool. Share them with us, man. We like to know, guys. I only know little anecdotes here and there.
I didn't know anything about him. Well,
that's
apparently
what I'm saying. Now it sounds like he's more interesting than Elvis.
Right. In his young years, he was a person of interest in a murder.
Interesting.
I put that picture up at the perfect time.
Interesting. Yes,
I
that
just
is.
looked up. I just looked up.
He looks like
Kill
a
you,
mate
Elvis.
right there.
he was extradited back to the Netherlands, but he avoided criminal arrest. Age of 20, he came back. He did enlist in the army, taking on Tom Parker to disguise the fact that he's an illegal immigrant. He served basic training. He served 2 years, Coast Artillery, Fort Shafter in Hawaii. He re-enlisted. He served honorably, but he went AWOL. And he was punished with solitary confinement. He emerged with a psychosis that led him to 2 months in a mental hospital.
Damn.
I mean, and then from there he worked in the carnivals. Wow. Wow. And that's like, he's like,
That's an interesting story, though.
that's even way before he met Elvis.
Shit.
So he started early talent management from 38 to 54.
Damn.
That's crazy.
There's so much here. I'm just like kind of shocked.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the movie should be about him instead.
I'm kind of shocked.
I mean, we've got a couple Elvis movies already. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah, we do.
Elvis's
Russell
personal
and-
story has been told dozens of times in TV and film, but part of me thinks that this might have some significant Hanks in it.
Right.
So it just might be their relationship. The story might just be their relationship, which
That's what it
that'd
appears
be
to
interesting
be.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and this cast looks good. I mean, this kid sounds like Elvis. He looks a lot like Elvis. I mean, he's a little
does.
too pretty for Elvis, but
I don't know if he looks like him.
I mean, certain shots he
got the
does,
mouth.
but then
In certain
sometimes he
shots.
doesn't.
Certain shots, right? Yeah, you're exactly certain angles.
But he's got the voice like a mofo, like especially when he's like the later Elvis. He really looks like because he's got.
He looks
Yeah.
amazing. No, he looks amazing. There's a shot where you see bloated Elvis. He's kind of looking up, dude. I was like, whoa! But this is highly.
So who is this kid they got playing Elvis here?
Austin
Butler.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. Okay.
I
I'm
just
just
want
glad
the
it's not
moment where
Harry
Nixon
Styles.
gives him like, you know, his special agent, honorary special agent rank, and Elvis thinks it's legit.
I want to be able to kill some people.
I'm going to win this.
I'm going to be undercover.
He knows
I'm gonna be a
karate.
spy. I'm going to be a spy, and I'm going to serve for the American
Sounds
people.
like
Austin used to play in that TV show that Shannara Chronicles or whatever.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
how I
isn't that what
remember
that
him.
one movie is about? Script with what's his face, where he meets with Nixon, like Nixon and Elvis or whatever it is, where he's like, "I want to be a spy."
Well, he was in Once Upon a Time in America, so I'm trying to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'm trying to look.
Oh,
at
really?
his, trying to look at the
Tex Watson. He was
Charles
Tex-
Watson.
Yeah, Tex Watson.
Oh, he was Tex.
Priscilla,
Yes.
I'm a spy. Oh, okay. He played Tex. Gotcha.
God, he was.
Yeah.
That was. He did a pretty good job.
I know you.
I love
You're
the
that
ending.
guy.
I love the ending of that movie.
And he also played in Yoga Horsers or whatever it's called with Kevin
Yoga
Smith.
Hosers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Kevin
can be
Smith's film,
forgiven
right?
for that.
But I mean, he's to the wider audience, he's basically an unknown. That's pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he looks all right. I mean, like you said, in some bits not so much, but in others a little bit better. Yeah. I mean, of course, Tom Hanks just looks like Tom Hanks in fat makeup, but
Yeah, that's
but I mean, when he gets going on some of these, it's. I mean, I don't know if it's him singing. I mean, some of the songs
It's
sounds
clearly Elvis loops.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like Elvis is actually.
I love that when he explodes his hips and the chicks lose it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
They did a good job capturing that. I mean, honestly, this is probably up Baz Luhrmann's avenue a little bit more than some of the other stuff that he's done. Because, like, when he did Romeo and Juliet back in the day, I think he'd only done like music videos and shit at that point. That's where he had gotten.
Not even really.
Well, it was like his whole thing was like MTV promoted the fuck out of that movie script. I don't know
They
if
did.
Like,
because he did Romeo and Juliet was his second film, and then he did Moulin
He
Rouge,
was the one who
and then he
made
would do
the
TV and short
Romeo
films
and
after that.
Juliet. So that's him that made that one with Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff.
Yes.
Then I remember what movie it is. Yeah, in Norway, we normally watch that movie all the fucking time in school. They're always gonna show that in school for some reason.
What was the trilogy called that he called it? Script, his ballroom trilogy. It was Romeo. It was.
Well, I mean, I know it was Moulin Rouge.
Well, it was Romeo, Moulin Rouge,
Strictly Ballroom,
and Strictly.
Yeah, I guess it'd be Strictly. Yeah, because those are the first 3 movies he made.
And I think he called it like the Ballroom trilogy or whatever. Like it just had a proscenium.
Oh, the first time I remember hearing anything about the guy was when he did that stupid fucking graduation song. The sunscreen song.
Nope.
You guys don't remember that shit?
Nope.
To the 1998
I have no idea
graduating
what
class.
He did Great Gatsby.
It's basically what Chris Rock is making fun of in the song "There's No Sex in the Champagne Room." You ever heard that song?
Well, it depends what champagne room and which venue, but okay.
God, am I the only one who knows this shit? Jesus.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah.
It was a huge hit. Like it was called Sunscreen. Yeah, trust me about the. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one.
I have no idea.
Is that the like spoken word song or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Chris Rock made fun of it with "There is no sex in the champagne room, none."
Yeah, spoken words I wouldn't call spoken word songs. I wouldn't really call.
Well, it was still
but I
a
get what you're talking
song,
about,
but yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's music and then it's spoken word.
Well,
Kind
regardless.
of like rap. Rap is cool because it's music, but it's spoken word. But it's got a bit more energy than the
I could have been a bit more. Yeah, I could have explained it better, probably. Sorry. It did.
Maybe I can become a spoken word superstar.
You could.
Sure, why not?
And your mother was your brother, but your sister was your cousin, and your daddy was your best friend's uncle's cousin.
You're already a better rapper than Mad Mardigan.
That doesn't say anything.
Oh.
So when does this movie come out?
But he did Great Gatsby as well.
Oh yeah, he did the Great Gatsby. Yeah, June 24th. This movie comes out.
Yeah.
Close summer.
I just think it's fascinating, like when like real good, kind of I won't say European, but like non-American actors, directors do something that's so American because they're fascinated by the subject.
They also have a better perspective because it's not as they have a more objective perspective because they didn't grow up into it. They're not fully indoctrinated, so to speak, or they have a different approach to the intimacy of the culture than locals do.
It's definitely different. It's definitely but like with Elvis or what's the other one I'm thinking of? The French guy.
You mean like Luc Besson?
No, like when they take on like Elvis or other people, like they take on like global status, so everyone has been affected by an Elvis or like a Beatles or a Muhammad Ali. It's always really interesting to see these directors, Oh, the French guy that did The Lone Ranger.
Oh, that was a horrible movie.
Yeah. But
the one with Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer.
Right.
Yeah, that guy did not. I don't think that guy ever watched The Lone Ranger.
Really? I thought he was a fan of that.
Superficial in name because there's a lot to that movie that just did not feel Lone Ranger-y at all.
No, it wasn't. What I'm saying, he missed the mark. I mean, there was like a couple of cool moments, but it was, and obviously he missed the mark. But whenever it's like, again, it's something that's so American, the product. That's all I meant. Like certain musicians in their bands are really big in Germany, but they can't sell a record here in the States.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Well, you even have like the thing where like Meatloaf was a bigger international star than he was in the U.S. So
was Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis was huge in the U.S., but he was bigger in Europe.
France. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we got some super chats and stuff to get to, so let's not waste any more time on that. I did have a PayPal donation from a. Let's see, they called themselves a fan of how did it go? I got to double check on this here because I don't want to fuck this up. A fan of North Melbourne Kangaroos sent me $5 yesterday. So a fan of North Melbourne kangaroos. I'm supposed to refer to them as. So thank you for that and the love from Australia. We appreciate that here at the channel. And then we have Shotgun Fringe in the house who says, listening to you guys at the gym, Mikey.
Yeah.
Marvel has some licensed
lose
rabbit
Tom?
chickens. Huh?
Did we lose you?
Did I dip out or is it just you?
No, I'm here.
You were silent for a couple seconds.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was just on your end. Because Mikey answered me right away. Listening to you guys at the gym, Mikey, Marvel has some licensed rabbit chickens. I saw them recently at my local Target.
What?
Yeah, but your Etsy ones are better.
I'll have to check those out. See if they meet the snuff and see if they've been free range grown properly.
I doubt it. Yours are homemade.
Yep.
Dash Attack says, very surprised as to why Drinker hates Jurassic World 3. I know he hates 1, but he is aware of Trevorrow's positive tweets about fans. Jurassic World and Sonic 2, baby. Has he even seen Jurassic World 3? The movie doesn't even come out till May.
The summer.
Yeah.
And then here's the other part too. Just because a director, whether they're good or bad, tweets positively about fans doesn't mean that they're immune from making a bad movie. And Trevorrow, he's an okay director. He's getting better. But I mean, at least he's got the right mindset and attitude where he's not going after the people that like him. So
yeah, and he made a better story than
we can get him that. But let's not have that attitude be the most valuable currency when it comes to your profession, because there's a lot of people in the industry who love their fans, but they make terrible stuff. And it doesn't help anyone else when they're trying to move their career or tell great stories.
Now this reminds me of Chris Rock when he had that bit, was like, I never been to jail. I'm a good dad. You ain't supposed to be in jail.
Exactly right. Exactly. Yes.
Child support.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like that's like that's a low bar. You're supposed to be treating your fans really good.
Yep.
No, maybe I'm going to translate this a little bit because I'm sure Dash was limited by the amount of characters. He may not like the trailers. What do you think he's saying? He may be chalking it up to how bad the last film is. If that's the case, then I can understand that. He may not be aware that Trevorrow didn't direct the last film. And he's also probably talking about the fact that Trevorrow apologized for the last film and said that he was going to make it up to the fans with this one. If that's the case, then maybe Drinker just isn't aware of that. And if next time I talk to him, I'll definitely make him aware of that if that's what you mean, Dash Attack. So if not, I don't understand what his beef is with the franchise if he's going to prejudge
Maybe he's talking
the movie.
about the Dominion. I don't know.
Well, that's what. Yeah, Jurassic World 3 is Dominion.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because Fallen Kingdom.
I'm saying maybe released a video or something. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's all he followed up with here. He goes, "Oh, I know. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I basically I interpreted.
Did Trevorrow did one of those movies?
He did the first one.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then
that was the best one, right?
Well, of the newer films.
Yeah.
Of the new one, right.
At least.
And then when they made
good franchise right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And then when they
but
went
the money they've made has been nuts, right?
Yeah, the first one made a shit ton of money, and so did the second one. But he didn't direct the second one. He was actually overworking on Star Wars when the second one was made.
Yeah.
And then that's why he apologized. He said, I was distracted by Star Wars and the second movie got away from me, basically, in so many words.
Yeah. And
so he's saying he's going to make it up to the fans. Yeah.
And he never got to make a Star Wars movie. So
he would have had the best one. Yeah.
I have read his script that was leaked and everything. Of all of those three, if that story was the one that we got, they would have been a lot better than what we got.
It's been confirmed as real,
yeah. And it's not much better overall.
but at least it works with what was there.
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
And it has a better reveal for Rey than the Palpatine crap, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was her own character. It was
actually Rey's existence kind of balks at the Metachlorians thing in Trevorrow's script.
I got into an argument the other day with somebody about Metachlorian script. I wished you were there. I was like,
what's more powerful than Metachlorians? Ready? Mexichlorians. You got it, Tom.
I should know. I'm like 25%
right?
adopted Mexican.
Tom, I'm so proud of you at this moment. I don't know how Paulie feels, but I'm so proud.
I think Paulie's proud of me because last night I started watching Narcos because he was one of the people that told me I should check it out.
Like 2 years ago.
Hey,
You're barely getting to
now you guys
Narcos?
know. I have said this before. I am about 2 years behind schedule. Nobody
Paulie,
fucking believes me.
Paulie, talk to this boy. How are you two? How have you not seen Narcos, Tom?
Because I am 2 fucking years behind schedule on everything.
I'm Mexican. Paulie's Mexican, right, Paulie?
Yes.
Okay, see, and you should be okay. That was a stupid argument.
I've not
And I'm
seen
loving it
Narcos
so
myself.
far. It's great.
That
I
was
mean, I know some of the stuff that ain't real, but I mean,
That was the dumbest argument I ever came up with right there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna mute my mic.
and I don't know why they took out his brother because his brother was one of the more important parts of the organization. They changed. They race swapped his brother. What the fuck is that about? Like,
Okay, you need to just keep watching. You're way behind.
no, I know, but like I know the true story, and his brother
Well-
was the one guy, and they made him that dude, that one black dude who keeps all the records of shit. That's who his brother was. He's the one who got busted. His brother was the one keeping all that stuff. Like his brother's like non-existent. Where's his brother?
Well, in this, there's actually a telenovela version of it that's also on Netflix, which is hysterically good but long, and that has the brother.
Okay, I'll have to check
This
that one out
this
after.
one's kind of like more, like.
Otherwise, it seems fairly accurate. I mean, it's got
Mhm.
pretty much everything I can remember from what it went down, but like, I mean, I love how they're covering it from the angle of the whole, like, I mean, of course I'm talking about a fucking 6-year-old show now. Sorry guys, but
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm getting into it. It's good. It's got great actors in it. It's
Great actors.
engaging. It's well done, well paced. It's not woke at all.
Doesn't it feel good to see something that you actually enjoy?
There's titties in it.
Yeah. Whoa! Yeah,
There's a lot of good-looking women in both
Yeah.
of them. In both of them. Yes, Escobar, El Patrón del Mar. Yeah. That's the one. That's
Yeah,
other
who's the
thing.
kid who plays Escobar in it? He's pretty good. I
Oh,
can't
the
think of
young
his
one's
name.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Cosmic Vader. Then that one's a little more salacious too with the chicas.
Oh, it seemed, like I said, outside of missing his brother and a few things, and I mean, honestly, it's probably a little more nice
you
to
see,
him than
You see why I picked last year Pedro as my best actor, because he was wrapping up Narcos.
in this first part so far, he hasn't had a shit ton to do yet.
Right,
But I know
yeah.
he takes over.
He takes over the second year.
I did
yes.
read that, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Your
And he does
Muslim
show up to
uncle,
set to act.
your Muslim uncle sends in $1.99, says, "May your fuerto be with you." And how do you say that?
No,
Salam.
let me do this. Let me do this for you. May the fuerte be with you, and salam alay.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
love that. Like as soon as Tom claims his 25% Mexican heritage, he can't even say fuerte.
I can't speak it for shit. I
You
can't
say
even speak English. You guys haven't figured that out yet?
Oh,
I can barely talk.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord, what else did we have on I know you guys sent me a few news stories here. Where'd they go? Let's see here. What else did we have? We had
a bunch of things.
yeah, you did. Streaming December. Oh yeah, Paramount stock took a dump. We talked about that yesterday morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So let's talk about this Francis Ford Coppola story. Will you two go play somewhere else? I don't know if you guys can hear them too, but they're like right below me.
Yep.
And they're playing.
I can hear him scratching and shit.
Yeah, they're playing. They're just playing, but they're being noisy.
I thought this story was hilarious.
Okay, we got Francis Ford Coppola here. I heard something about this, but I didn't actually get to read the story. Of surprise, surprise, right?
I'll read it. You want me to read it?
Sure, go for it. Francis Ford Coppola says, go ahead.
Studio films like Dune and No Time to Die feel interchangeable. The Apocalypse Now director lamented that even talented directors like Cary Fukunaga and Denis Villeneuve have their talent stifled by studios. When it comes to the state of the modern film industry, Francis Ford Coppola is never at a loss for words. After previously calling Marvel movies, quote, despicable, the legendary director has some choice words for Dune and No Time to Die. Speaking to GQ about the 50th anniversary of The Godfather, Coppola lamented the repetitive nature of today's studio blockbusters and worried that great filmmakers are wasting their talents on them. There used to be studio films, Coppola said. Now there are Marvel pictures. And what is a Marvel picture? A Marvel picture is one prototype movie that is made over and over and over and over and over again to look different. Even the talented people. You could take Dune, made by Denis Villeneuve, an extremely talented, gifted artist, and you could take No Time to Die, directed by Cary Fukunaga, extremely gifted, talented, beautiful artist, and you could take both those movies, and you and I could go and pull the same sequence out of both of them and put them together. The same sequence where the cars all crash into each other. They all have that stuff in it, and they almost have to have it if they're going to justify their budget. And that's the good films and the talented filmmakers. I don't remember any timeout. I don't remember any cars crashing in Dune. Do you?
No, but he's talking about you
No.
can cut the two together. Like there is in No Time to Die.
Oh,
But
okay.
you could probably cross-mat the explosions or
That's what
violence
he's
in one
saying,
movie
yeah.
with another. Which,
All right.
again,
Yeah.
that's the manufactured process, and he's not wrong because, I mean, the movie Chef by Jon Favreau is basically a blatant call that this is a problem in Marvel because of what happened with Iron Man 2. Because, again, as I mentioned earlier, not today, but like in previous streams, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America are very different movies with a different take on the formula of the hero's arc and journey. But they somehow work together. But once you get to Iron Man 2, it kind of goes into Disney manufactured assembly line stuff, and we see it more blatantly with every iteration as the films go on from there, which is it's tragic. And Coppola's not wrong in his statement about how it feels soulless and
Nope.
manufactured.
Well, he's got two more statements in this last paragraph. I'll just wrap this up, and then you
Yeah,
guys
let's
can tear
go.
it apart. Coppola understandably has opinions about great directors toiling away on bland studio films as he spent much of the 80s working on studio fare to pay off personal debts that he acquired from some of his creative gambles. The disheartening process led him to step away from the film industry for decades to focus on his vineyards. Quote, I always felt that I didn't leave the movie business, he told GQ. The movie business left me. Coppola's complaints about the state of big budget studio films comes as he's preparing a big budget film of his own, albeit without the backing of a studio. He is currently preparing to shoot Megalopolis, a lifelong passion project set in a futuristic version of New York that is based on ancient Rome that explores the idea of utopia. He is preparing to spend $120 million of his own money on the film, which has a rumored cast that includes Oscar Isaac, Kate Blanchett, and Zendaya.
Wow, that movie that he's been working on for 35 years and had Leonardo DiCaprio at one point, and then, oddly enough, Robert Pattinson for like 2 years. Yeah, I mean, listen, he even quotes, he does he paraphrases and updates a quote from Sunset Boulevard. It was the pictures that got small, that type of thing. That's what he said there. He's one of the founding fathers of modern day Hollywood.
Right. Isn't this odd script?
No, it's actually exactly the right course because, again, what the studios have been doing is they've been plucking out directors that are on the rise of figuring out their identity and their narrative style for directing films, as Coppola was during his heyday, and they're basically crushing them because they're giving them the studios are giving them this big break and saying, you're going to make the movie the way we want it made. And as a result, those directors, knowing that they can, parlay this credit into other things, passion projects down the road, will do it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they're also being neutered creatively, and that's only can go so far before they either ditch the business all entirely, or just end up becoming a no-name work-for-hire director that doesn't bring any draw to a film because it's the brand of the IP more than the people involved in creating it.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the whole Ant-Man situation, right? With Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright had his own plan.
Yeah.
And it just disagreed. But then they got Peyton Reed, who had made a few smaller films beforehand that were actually quite good. And he managed to, properly thread what Edgar Wright was trying to do and make it work into the Marvel formula. Because I contest that Ant-Man, even though it wasn't made by Edgar Wright, it does feel quite much like an Edgar Wright film.
Yeah, it does. You can tell some of the stuff in there that's clearly his. And I'm sorry I missed this before, Lord Kamina too. He sends in $2 and says, Mike, you got to watch Dora Hedoro.
All right, hold on. I'm looking that up right
Dora
now.
Hedoro.
Dora Hedoro.
Is this anime?
Probably. Sounds like it.
Let me
If I
see
had to
here.
take a guess.
Dorohedoro, original title. I don't know. It says I can watch it now on Netflix.
Well,
12
there you go.
episodes.
We'll put
If
it in
it's
your
if it's
queue.
anime though, I gotta make a confession to
It
everybody
is
in
an
the stream.
anime.
Is it anime?
Yeah, it's an anime.
I'm a
and
little
a
animated
manga.
out right now, everybody. I've been watching a lot of it, and let's just say Mexican Iron Man is not going to become a hardcore fan of anime. There's some of it that I like, I watch, but the artistic style is just too different for
That's
me.
my problem. Yeah.
I think anime follows the same metric as any other form. Like, there's some really, really good stuff, but most of it is probably garbage.
Oh,
that's just
dude,
the
I
nature
I
of
don't
the
know.
medium.
I
from
can
that.
still watch Super
That
Friends to this day.
Right.
I can say so
You mean
that
the
a
Super
lot
Friends
of
from like the 70s?
Yeah.
Me too.
yeah, I can say so. There's a lot of fucked up, stupid anime, and some fun, and some really, really good that makes you fucking cry.
Oh, but
Yeah,
this one
There's
looks
a lot
pretty
of
good.
absolutely.
Okay,
Just
you know
like
what?
with any genre and any.
Put it in
any-
your queue.
I'm putting it in the queue. You know what? It looks pretty good. I just watched the trailer.
All right, so there you go. And I just got to say, since Daryl Brewer's in the chat, I guess he made this pen. He sent this with the PS5, and it is an amazing pen. You can't really see it that well, but
Holy shiznit.
like it's a really nice pen. I use
Look
it.
at that
nice,
fancy
yeah.
pants. That's for tax
Wow.
return to do
I
it.
guess he makes it. He made
Wait,
it
wait,
himself.
put it back up. Can you pull back a little bit? Yeah, there you go.
Wow, look
Is
at
that like a walnut? What
It's
is
something
that,
like that.
Daryl?
It's got like some kind of. I wish you could see. You can't really see the design, but there's like all this nice little design in the gold.
Oh, in the gold?
area.
Wow.
Like my
Nice.
camera sucks. I need a new camera. I know.
Oh no, we suck again.
That looks really nice, though.
But I saw him in the chat there, and Six told me I should shout that out. So thank you. I don't know if he sells those or makes those, but if you do, go ahead and send Six the info, and she can share that for everybody.
Looks pretty fucking gorgeous. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's a nice pen. But I use it every day. But no, I agree with Francis on this one, and it sounds just like what Scorsese was saying a while back. And it's not that I don't enjoy these kind of movies, but they become an assembly line movie, and this is part of my problem before the woke. It was the McDonaldization of films in general. Like everything seemed to be assembly line put together. You could expect every time there'd be this certain beat when certain things would happen, and you never get walked out of any movie like you kind of got what you expected, which is fine to a point. But I don't want my expectations subverted necessarily. But I like surprises.
You miss the surprises of film.
Exactly. And how did they do that? Or whoa, cool. Or just we were talking about Bad Boys the other day on Toxic Tuesday. And I was reminded at how great that movie took what was a classic comedy of errors story and put it into an action film and made it work. And it's one of those kind of storylines that I normally don't like too much, because when you have a comedy of errors, 9 times out of 10, all you got to do to stop the action of happening is to have somebody go time out and explain to some other person the problem, right? That's usually what those things hinge on. With Bad Boys, at least, it's part of the plot. So that carries throughout the plot. And it's like, even that simple little idea of, Martin Lawrence having to pretend to be Will Smith makes that movie, right? Like that's kind of, it makes it, to me, stand out above other action films that are just basically cops got to go get the bad guys. It takes a classic comedy trope and weaves it into this action film, and we haven't had an action film like that in so long, right? And I hate to say, because it was a Michael Bay film at the time, but it's still, but even since then, since the late 90s, since computers have become part of everything, since the writers go in, and I don't know, Script, maybe you can comment on this. I'm sure it's the studio's fault that they don't allow you guys to take any chances anymore. I'm sure they expect this typical formula of the ABC plot, and the guy gets the girl at the end and wins, and da.
Well, I mean, that's for assignment stuff. Yeah, and assignment projects are what's driven in the studios right now. Like the original stuff, you can kind of do whatever the heck you want. It's just up to you to be lucky enough to sell that script and get studio financing for it and get it made. But with like the other part too, and this is what usually happens at the point. So when you're starting out to screenwrite, you learn pacing in your script. So by like within the first 5 pages, you got to get your reader's attention. That reader could potentially be the director or an actor or whomever. By the 15 pages, you should already have an understanding of what the main characters want and what the obstacle is. And by page 20 to 25, you should be ending your first act, and the adventure should actually be underway. And then you've got 40 to 60 pages of your second act, basically your your rising action, your hero failing to achieve their goal, and then their need to rise back up and head right into the climax where they've learned from their mistakes and they're able to end the film with a victory. And that's how you start. And then once you understand how those work and how they function, then you can start playing around with them. But unfortunately, what ends up happening is that because we've had an influx of certain studios wanting up and coming writers that fit certain boxes, they're grabbing them right at that pivotal stage where they're understanding the functions of screenwriting. And as a result, they're handing in works that we as an audience would find to be less than acceptable and derivative to a degree. And that's why we're getting such really poor and heavily
That's the term
propagandized
I like.
entertainment.
Derivative. Yes.
Yeah, because they're not understanding the nuance of what it are. Because as I like to preach, the rules are tools. They're there because they're time and tested. They've stood for centuries throughout how we tell stories. But the fact of the matter is that because they're rules and they're also tools, you can use them in different ways and still achieve the same goal of telling a great story. But it's all predicated on the writer understanding why those rules are there, how they can be used. And if you know how to break them, how to hide the fact that you broke them so that anyone watching it's not going to pick up on it right away. And unfortunately, we have a big talent gap throughout the industry right now, I would argue, because even though there's a lot of people that are hired for the wrong reasons, the talent was there, but they just, you have to refine it. You got to exercise, you got to pay your dues, you got to, experiment and fail, and not in a way where you're actually costing the studio potential money. And unfortunately, a lot of the writers that we've seen over the last 8 years that have been working in television and some film, they're going to fade away faster than all the predecessors that got in earlier after learning the stuff that's really needed. And I feel tragic for that because there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I figured. So again, I mean, we're not saying that if you like these movies, or I don't even think he's saying if people like these movies that you're dumb or anything like that. I think he's just saying what I was saying before, and that is that the inspiration, the creativity, the voice,
imagination,
has been taken out of these, and the directors, like I couldn't tell you who directed half these movies.
Well, it's
just
a
by looking
manipulation
at
of
them,
of the bar of good, right? That's what it is. When you make something in a factory and it's not, if it's not efficient and reliable, it ends up becoming, again, derivative and non-functional, and it lowers the bar and standards required for the competition. And Francis Ford Coppola was one of the handful of directors that kind of elevated that bar to begin with, and now he's looking at what the industry has become, and he's like saying, people should be challenging me, my creativity, that the stuff that I did, they should make me want to do something better through inspiration and not out of, holy crap, you guys are pathetic, this is how it's done. Like, that's not the motivation he wants. He wants to basically see, like, wow, that new kid came on the block, he blew me away, I never thought of doing stuff this way, it's inspired me to take a chance and take what that director presented or that film presented and see if I can do one better. And that's the type of competition you need in industry. Is not so much, oh, I hate them for doing something better. It's like, bam, I am so impressed with them for doing something better, I got to see if I can rise to the occasion and just do better than that. But we don't have that type of model in North America or in the West anymore.
Can I say a couple things?
Yes, you can, sir.
Of course.
Yeah, if you ever want to put to the test what Coppola's talking about, look at these gentlemen's early movies and then compare it to like their latest one. I was in shock when I heard that Carrey was doing a James Bond film, because I know him. I remember like over 10 years ago interviewing him for a local channel when he came up with Sin Nombre, which is just this beautiful epic story, of these guys on trains, these gangs out of Mexico. Killer movie, but independent. Like it's a film. This is a real film, and so that's what Hollywood does. They tap. They mark these guys as the next big thing, but then they become really indoctrinated into the studios, kind of directing system, and then they're kind of unrecognizable. And they're actually very talented. So if you want to do that, take a director that you know and go and see his first film, even Nolan's first film.
Nolan actually declined as a director, I would say, over the years.
Yeah, maybe Nolan's not so much a great example. I just I would say Carrie's a good example.
Carrie is I think Carrie is a more prominent example. Yeah,
because you look at Sin Nombre, then you look at No Time to Die, and I enjoyed myself, but it's kind of by now it's a forgettable film. You know, it was a lot of fun when I saw it in the theater. But you know, and the other ironic part of this is that Coppola and his buddies are really to blame for this current era film.
they're the inspiration.
In a way, you're not wrong there either, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sequel and the blockbuster. I mean, it's
and he's
Coppola,
almost
Spielberg.
directly responsible for Star Wars, if you believe the story, where he yelled at George because George nearly bankrupted American Zoetrope with THX 1138 and lost them their 3-picture deal with Warner. And he's like, "Why can't you just make a fucking family movie or a comedy? Like, what the hell's wrong?
Why can't you make something people want to see?"
Yeah, exactly, something that people can relate to." And he's like, and he's like, "All right, fine, I can do that." And he went and wrote American Graffiti and got the idea for Star Wars. And that was kind of the whole inspiration, or at least the catalyst for that, is that he was on the challenge of Francis to be able to just make a general audience picture,
general audience fun movie. He fought for years trying to get Flash Gordon rights, couldn't get it, and then he's like, "Then I'll just make my own Flash Gordon."
Exactly, yeah.
Star Wars, yeah.
But look at some of the directors who buck the trend. They haven't done any Marvel films. Well,
on the other side of this,
they probably easily could have. But Cuarón, who I think has a really interesting career. His early films he's so versatile. And this is the man that did Prisoner of Azkaban, which a lot of people proclaim is their favorite Harry Potter film. And he's done Y Tu Mamá También, Children of Man, Gravity, Roma. I mean, he's still an auteur, and he's not just a Hollywood director.
Well, and the other thing is like Francis took what The Godfather was supposed to be, which is supposed to be this little potboiler B movie, and he turned it in one of the greatest films of all time. And I'm pretty sure that's a lot of what that upcoming miniseries is going to be about too. So I mean, this guy knows a thing or two about taking crap and making it gold. And
but it was also Tom. It was timing. Like this crew. What did they have before? These guys revolutionized film, man.
Oh, absolutely, 110%.
God,
right?
I mean, take the 4, right? Take Coppola, Lucas, Spielberg, De Palma.
Yeah, those were basically the team. Yeah,
that was. I mean,
well, you got to throw Scorsese in there too. He was hanging around.
Yeah, okay.
He was buying the drugs. He's right. No, script's not wrong.
Wait, what?
But just really quick,
these guys actually had a nickname for a while. Like I can't remember their name, but they were like the something mafia because they all came from some area. And you're like,
yeah. And the 3 Mexican directors have the tequila gang. Tequila gang. I would say that the closest thing to being, to kind of changing filmmaking, those three current directors, and they're steering clear of kind of the Marvel studio films. You know what I mean?
Well, they're steering clear because 1, they're expensive, and 2, they've built up such a career that a person like Kevin Feige can't say, "No, you're going to do it my way" to them, because they'll just walk. I mean, that's the thing.
They don't. Well, he did walk. He walked from The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. That's the danger of having really creative narrative directors for your property, is the fact that if they have a vision that and how they want to execute this script, and it doesn't co-align with the studio or the main producer, such as like a Kevin Feige, they can leave. And they have no qualms about that because they're who they are. They earned their reputation. They can get another movie. if they so want.
Right.
To a degree, of course.
To a
Again,
degree.
Francis Ford Coppola has been looking for 35 years. He's been trying to get Megalopolis.
So let me ask you this, because they tried to buck the trend of your typical Marvel film, for better or for worse. Those on different levels they were entertaining, but then they went with Chloe Zhao with Eternals script, which I couldn't even get through the first 15 minutes. And
But that fits the formula.
That's
See,
coming
that
from
came out on video yesterday too, by the way, kids.
right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we
not
was
only
talking
that,
about
like it fits the formula. Chloe Zhao is a very up and coming director, and yeah, she got hired on that around the same time that she got her Oscar nom and then win, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, like, and that was after her first film. So it doesn't even matter at that point. It's like, yep, we got this director who won an Oscar. If she didn't get the Marvel film, she probably would have gone on to be a bit more prolific as a
Right.
director. But now she's stuck with Marvel, or
Now she's
based
stuck.
on that one part. And we saw such a dismal response to that film that it's probably going to give her a significant hiccup in her career until she gets another sort of independent thing going.
Right.
In which case, she's basically back to square one that she was when she won that Oscar before she got signed with Marvel.
Did you see it, The Eternals?
The Eternals? No, I did not. I had no interest in it.
Anyone seen
I
it?
have seen.
I watched
Yes, I've
bits and
seen it.
pieces of it.
I've read
I've seen the
comic
whole
books of the
thing.
Eternals, and I don't even like them as characters.
No, I've seen the whole movie. I've seen the
Jace,
whole thing.
is it really like a different type of Marvel film? I mean, forget that it's lame, but just story wise, there was nothing
Nah,
there.
it was just a terrible Marvel movie.
I watched bits and pieces of it in the background,
Uh-huh.
and a friend of mine who's not like a movie geek said it doesn't even feel like a Marvel movie.
Well,
It just,
I heard they were trying. That's exactly what they were trying to do, not make a Marvel film,
it
and then
felt like they were trying to be DC certain times.
Yeah.
and get like the Oscar nominations. Like, this will be our first one for Best Picture. That's like.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is what you're getting to, Paulie, but are you insinuating that hiring Chloe Zhao, doing what they did with the Internals, was them commenting back on what Scorsese was saying before and kind of what Francis is saying here? Like they're trying to get out of that?
I think there's something there, because they wanted to take they're trying to take themselves seriously.
I can agree with that. Yeah, it looks like it was a power move of like saying, well, we can actually make a good art film. We'll get this director, but at the same time, I think they had a little bit more hands off, and then realized that was a big mistake now.
That was a really big mistake.
Because again, Chloe Zhao, as a director, she's still finding her voice. And I mean, again, you can't discount her for winning that award for that film, even though I don't know many people that saw her first film. But again, she's a very new to the scene in comparison to a lot of other directors out there, and I think it was just a big mistake to not only hire her for that film, but at the same time probably not give her the team she needs in order to make it the best it could be, because I don't think she had a very good team with her. And second of all, to have a little distance and leeway to a story that is very difficult to tell. Because I mean, I've read Eternals comics, and they've always been like my least favorite of the Marvel series, because I don't care about these characters at all, and their petty ways. So for them to go in the direction of making the Eternals to begin with, I think was also a big mistake for Marvel.
Yeah, I can say it like this, that I enjoyed Inhumans, the TV show, more than the Eternals movie. And that says a lot.
Well, and I hadn't even seen it, and I basically had to explain what the Eternals were to the one person.
They're robots.
Yeah, I had to explain that, because they weren't quite, and then I had to get into the whole thing of like, because they're like, well, then why didn't Thanos do anything? But that makes no sense. Like, you're asking
Thanos
the
is
same
an
questions we did. No, like, why didn't they get involved? Because like that's kind of counterproductive to what they're doing. Like, that was their whole question after watching
Because
the movie.
they were not allowed to interfere.
Which is stupid.
That's
It makes
the
no
reasoning.
fucking sense, because it's like, but wait a minute, because that's what they said. They're like, but they're trying to get this fucking planet ready for the thing, but that makes no sense. If you blink out half of existence, then like, yeah,
maybe part of that half of existence was the deviant growing inside Earth. Who knows?
yeah, like, it just basically, my point was if the general audience is also asking the same questions the nerds are, then you have fucking failed.
Yes.
But
Yes.
anyhow, I don't know if anybody else has anything to add to this part of the conversation. We do have a member chat from Hillis Mallory, who says no comment, but he's been a minimum effort puppy member for 3 months. Thank you for that.
No, I
did
think
we-
Coppola's right. We have a big gap in talent right now on the main stage of film. Not so much on the independent side. There's lots of cool stuff
Right.
coming out. Go check out Film Threat to see what those are and whatever piques your interest, right? Because
No, I know that's the problem.
Chris
It's
Gore's
so
doing
scattered.
the most there to try and advertise it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's just so scattered everywhere.
Yep.
It's hard to find everything now. But no, it'll be interesting to see how people react to this over the next few days. Because I do know that it kind of did tick off Kevin when Scorsese said that. Hillis also says, I think the Eternals suffered from lack of a villain. As much as I like the ending, the lead up to it just didn't do much to provide any tension. Well, the villain was the white man. So, and Lord Kamina is a new member. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you becoming a member and supporting the channel. Let's see what level you're at. You're a minimum effort puppy. So we get Mike's favorite video. Is he here?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
All right. We got the minimum effort puppy. Well, while we're looking for that sticker, we got the bored corgi because I'm sure you're bored.
Now that looks more like what Bambino, like I'll do minimum effort puppy. You know, if Bambino made at least that effort, I probably wouldn't complain as much.
He looks like he's like, why are you making me do this?
Oh, we got a new member.
Yeah, I did. That's what we did the sticker for.
Oh, okay.
Or
Oh,
what
and
do
I'm
you
sorry.
call
We got another member chat. I meant Joker Voice.
Oh, we did. Okay, what's that one?
7 months. Joker Voice member for 7 months, and he has been a minimum effort puppy. No comment. Hi, Joker Voice.
Okay, well, thank you, Joker Voice. Well, the other story in the headline was that yes, Ezra Miller is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
What?
We don't know offhand what he's playing, but the reason we
mean?
know this is because
He's good friends with
Well,
James
James Gunn said it in a Variety interview.
yeah, and then Chuck Iwuji, if I'm saying his
Iwuji,
name
yeah.
right. Yeah, he is actually going to be in let's see
He's
here.
in
He
Volume
shot
3
some
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, actually, Marvel shot Ezra for us while we're shooting Guardians Volume 3. Marvel owed DC because the Peacemaker crew shot my screen test for Chuck Woody for Guardians Volume 3, and then we got Ezra with the Guardians Volume 3 crew. I guess that's James Gunn's quote right there.
Yeah, like because he has the two crews that he worked with, and there's overlap, and so that's what he was talking about.
Yes,
Ezra and Jason Momoa are in the last episode of Peacemaker.
You know what? I actually got, this is fucked up now, script, that this comes out this week, because somebody told me like a week or two ago, and now I understand why they said this, but it makes sense now anyway, because at the time I'm like, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Somebody said to me that The Flash was going to be in a Marvel movie. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Ezra Miller shot something in secret. I'm like, no. I'm like, so clearly he's not playing The Flash.
No. He's just some other character in the show, in Volume 3.
Yeah.
Well,
how many people on this panel are excited for Ezra Miller doing more stuff?
Nah.
Well, you know, it's I would say what comes out with this
terrible
news.
actor.
Yeah. What I was going to say.
Okay,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Just get him out of there, and we don't need him.
For me, what comes to mind is, you know, I'm pretty good at, you know, drawing the line between personality and their politics and the actor, you know, and what they do in their works of film and stuff like that. This was a little. Some are just a little, just, you know, it's very difficult to do, and he's one of them, especially after seeing him try to choke, you know, put a choke move on a person,
and
you know, and get away with it. You know, it's like I don't understand. You know, so you know,
learn it. Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
So either he was so high, or something, but you know, and
He's
that's
brain damaged to some degree.
yeah. So you know,
He's
but is
an
this
idiot
guy
and a terrible actor, so
right? And then there's that other thing: is he a good enough actor for me to
Ignore that.
to ignore that? It's like Pedro Pascal. I don't jive with his politics, but I think he's an incredible actor, and he's not like that's just it. There's no comparison for me, as
Mhm.
far as his behavior compared to Ezra Miller's behavior. So yeah, that's
I think
all I
I'm
can
back. I don't know what you guys heard me say or what cut out, but
you
yeah.
said nothing.
no for
It was
for
like
me. A lot of
Violent.
times I've seen Ezra Miller in movies, I feel like he plays the same thing all over. It's not much different of his acting or his characters. That's like a big problem with him.
He also has an incredibly weird looking face. It's like it's artificial. It doesn't
Yeah, and a
muscles
really weird running.
structure doesn't work properly with his cheeks and his eye. It's all he looks like a ransom, like a hostage taker took clippings from a magazine to create a face and then sent that along with a ransom note saying I have this person, and the cops are like, I don't know what this is. That's what Ezra Miller looks like.
That is
Yeah,
really weird,
and
but
I
I know what
think,
you're saying.
and if he tries to run away, I think people are just gonna laugh their asses off.
Well, and the thing is, it's also fucked up about him. I've not seen him in anything I like him in. He was the worst part of The Stand, and that says a lot because there is a lot of bad
Yeah.
shit in that movie, which means he went out of his way to give the worst performance of everybody, including Amber Turd.
Ugh.
He had
Yeah.
a moment in Fantastic Beasts where I didn't know it was him at
Oh, I've
first.
never seen that, so
And I was like, oh, this this person's doing some interesting work. And then as soon as I was like, oh, okay.
I think I
But
first saw him in
Yeah.
Trainwreck, that Amy Schumer almost comedy.
he was in that shit too.
I think so, yeah. Because I mean, that's a face you can't forget because you're like, that doesn't look human.
I just don't understand why he's so popular. Like, who likes him? Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
because
don't get
he's,
it.
I don't know, a lot of woke people loves him because he's like super woke.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know.
he's bi or whatever, but
He's
still, that
he's
doesn't make him
whatever
uncancelable. Well,
sexual.
I guess it does make him uncancelable. You can choke a bitch and be bi and get away with it.
Yeah, he's like whatever sexuality. And he's also they, them, as he calls himself, and
Yeah.
in poly relationships and all that modern cool stuff.
No, Mecha J, I can clearly say that he was worse because she is actually basically playing herself a crazy bitch. She plays the one that the devil chooses to be her bride, be his bride or whatever. So
And
she's like
also,
perfectly cast. So like in that sense.
and also, I remember that he did a hashtag Me Too moment thing on a Hollywood producer and stuff like that, and everybody was like, "Oh, on
I don't
his
remember
side."
this.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of stuff that weird with that guy, that and people love
yeah,
him.
didn't he try
I
to?
don't.
Didn't he put a homegirl on the spot to say something
Yeah,
about toxic masculinity and
yeah, it
down
was
with patriarchy? That's what it was.
Yeah, with the Wonder Woman actor.
Ugh,
Yeah,
Oh, Gal
he
Gadot,
tried
yeah.
to.
yeah.
He hates white people. He hates straight people and everything. He hates them.
He must not like Ben Affleck very much then.
Well, Ben Affleck could break him like a toothpick, too.
I know, right?
Yes. So
Weird.
He's
he is
weird.
a really, to be honest, he's a little bit of a dangerous person to be around, in my opinion.
Seems like he has some sort of personality disorder, that's for sure.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's gonna be in Guardians. Hopefully, it's just a fucking cameo and nobody
Oh,
knows it's
hopefully.
him. Because that's one of the few Marvel films I'm really looking forward to. Because I love the first two Guardians; they're like my top Marvel
They're two of
films.
my That's two of my
It's
favorites
also going to be
too.
James Gunn's last feature film for a long while.
Yeah,
He's going directly to television because,
yep.
yeah, Peacemaker was successful for HBO Max. And for the streaming series of IP, it's probably the first one with a cohesive narrative and structure.
Actually, he announced, I think today, that he's going to be directing all of season 2's episodes,
Oh,
and
Peacemaker.
he was already talking about that other spinoff, that secret spinoff that we don't know
Yep.
the character yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no, I mean, good for him. I mean,
Maybe DC pulled his ass in and he's going to take over the DC universe, guys.
well, DC
Oh,
Warner Brothers grabbed him as soon as
Oh.
Disney let him go. So he's definitely got a good relationship with a lot of people at Warner Brothers, and I think they're gonna really like him and see some value of him, because even though he has a very original take on Peacemaker, because he is kind of unrecognizable from his comic book counterpart,
He
people like
is.
it and it's successful,
But
and it's basically like a Troma TV series with a real budget. And
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say about the show is that for me right now, it's like 50-50 that I hate it and I do like it.
I got to finish
But
watching
it's
it.
I'm just gonna say it is too woke at some certain points for me in certain moments
I've
that
heard
I'm just
mixed.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just pisses me off a little bit.
it's kind of
feels
funny
forced.
because the woke stuff is kind of mocked, but I don't think it's intentionally mocked. Because I mean,
No.
we've read enough and seen enough of James Gunn where he believes in this stuff.
Yes,
But the
that's
thing
one
is,
of my
like, he
problems
puts
with
it out
him.
there, and I'm like, okay. And then there's this joke, and I'm like, that's mocking the thing. But I don't. Does he know he's doing that, or is he just take? Like,
Yes.
it's really thrown out there. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to get a beat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is like 50-50 for me with
Doesn't
that
seem
show.
as
Yeah.
dry as it is with like Cobra Kai, it sounds like some people are saying. But again, I got to see it myself to really comment on it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mecha J says, if James Gunn or Taika Waititi directed the Eternals, do you think they would have done better?
Visually, yes. Narratively,
maybe.
no.
Yeah. Like if Taika would have did it, at least the Eternals might have looked like Jack Kirby, right? You have
Yeah.
that aspect, and even James Gunn for that matter. But
Cersei
I don't know
would
if
be
anybody could have
sexy
made
and
that a good
seductive
movie.
instead of covered up and bland.
Unless they gave him some sort of control, creative control, then no. Because as we know how things work over there at Marvel, we would have pretty much got the same movie no matter who directed it.
Well, James Gunn has a different relationship because he's allowed
That's
to
what I'm saying,
storyboard
yeah.
everything that he does. Whereas other
Mm.
directors, when they come in, they have their previds already made and they gotta fit within the mold. So yeah, it's just a weird relationship. I mean, the directors you haven't heard of probably have the least amount of creative input on how things are going to go. But I think directors like Taika Waititi and James Gunn, they're basically said, yeah, okay, we trust you. Do what you want. We know it's going to fit what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also helped shape the voice of the modern Marvel films too, so that helps.
To a point, yeah. They
Yeah.
have very influential films for Marvel.
Yeah, with the Russo brothers, I would say, between those
Mhm.
individuals. Yeah. Hillis Mallory says Ezra Miller's Flash is more like a kid, more like Wally West than Barry Allen. I don't even see that. I
Yeah.
just see him as an obnoxious, creepy guy.
Which,
Yeah.
just goes to show you that, Zack Snyder was probably not the best person to make casting decisions for Justice League.
He got like half of them right, half of them shit. I'll be honest with you.
He got
Yeah.
Ben Affleck
Well,
and Henry Cavill.
That's
Oh,
about it. And
I-
Gal Gadot is
Nah,
serviceable.
Gal Gadot's a fine enough actress, but she doesn't have the presence that could fill up a Wonder Woman, in my opinion. Because she has a great smile. I mean, God, you can watch her just smile and glow at you all day. But for Wonder Woman, I want someone who looks like if she flexes, I could see a muscle.
And Jason
and she
Momoa has
doesn't
been
have that.
accepted, so
Jason Momoa is Lobo playing Aquaman.
I know, I agree with you there, but he's been accepted, so there's really not much we can say about that. But yeah, Hillis, I don't know with him. I just don't like him in general, period. Arcane on Netflix is still the greatest cartoon made today, says this. I've heard a lot about that show, but
I've seen the
Well,
whole thing twice.
a lot of people have said so much good about it.
I've heard
I've seen it twice, the whole thing.
you loved it, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot.
By the time I'll see it, it'll be 2 years old.
Oh,
Goddess of Whim says, hopefully Ezra Miller is killed off early in Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, yeah, but he'll still live in real life. That's why I saved that one for last. I was going to be mean to Ezra. Thank you for that, Goddess of Whim. But yeah, with that, I think we've wrapped up all the main topics for today. Was there anything else other than, let's see here, what'd you send? I think there was maybe one or two other things here.
Oh,
Gina
Paramount's
Carano
investing
as
in
Wonder Woman. I agree on that one.
What about Paramount?
Paramount's investing in Tyler Sheridan, the guy who does Yellowstone. The guy
Oh, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, he's doing 3 more shows for Paramount Plus.
Well, aren't they going to just give him his own network?
That would be Paramount Plus.
Right. No, I'm not joking, Mike. I think
Essentially, yeah.
Are
they
you
actually were,
serious?
yeah, they actually were going to change it to the Yellowstone network for a second in name. Then they pulled back, but yeah, he's got like
He's got I know 3 additional shows, and I think there's a few more on the way.
well, 1883 is incredible.
Because that's a prequel to Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same. That's Kevin Costner is the Dutton family, but like, you know, his granddaddy's granddaddy. Yeah, really excellent storytelling. The female lead is everyone's really good. Sam Elliott. So, yeah. Wow, that's so he got he's his deal. It's gonna, he did a what's that one movie he did with Pine, what's his name, with Chris
Taylor
Pine?
Sheridan?
Yeah, he wrote and directed, didn't he write and direct what's it called?
Something with Chris Pine? I'm trying to
Chris Pine and Ben Foster. It's like set in Texas. They're like bank robbers, brothers. Good flick. And who's the sheriff that's after him? It's either like a Hell or High Water. Thank you.
Hell or High Water. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a pretty good, decent one, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that is him.
He's got a good shtick going for sure.
No, he's got Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, which a lot of people have recommended for me to check out, which I will. 1883, and then I think he's got like 3 or 4 more shows that Paramount's pretty much given him the go-ahead to do. I think one's got Sylvester Stallone.
It is Jeff Bridges.
To work on that.
Have you seen that one yet, Tom? Hell or High Water?
No, but I think I have it.
Okay, so yeah, Jeff Bridges is the sheriff that he goes after the 2 brothers, and Jeff his character is like looking like an old school, you know, Texas Ranger, and his partner's a native Indian. God, the banter with those guys is really good. Yeah, some good stuff. He did write the Sicario movies. Damn, that boy. He's a very talented guy.
Yeah, he's also he's a decent actor too. He's done a couple of things here and there.
Yeah, I can tell that, you know, that's how he probably broke into the business, but his thing is the writing and creating.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, he's really good with character, and that's usually why I always tell other writers, take an improv and acting course, because when you can understand what an actor is looking for in a character, you can then write that and set yourself apart from everyone else. And Taylor Sheridan's a pretty good example of that. But yeah, it looks like if he's getting those shows and if they all hit like what's currently out there, he might be the only other draw besides South Park back to Paramount Plus to help them grow.
I mean, when I say like they're gonna give him a network, I mean, you know, like they could easily like just kind of acquire his, you know, his other movies, you know, and play those. Didn't he do Wind River?
Yeah, he wrote Wind River. Yeah.
With Renner, that's probably how he connected with him for Mayor.
Yeah, K2SO just brought that up in the chat.
Yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, Wind River I recommend as well. That was pretty good. You know, and a lot of his movies like all have to do with
crime.
Like, well, no, the crime, but also too an element of what is that called script where it's like, you know, the winter or the desert or the
desolate landscapes.
These landscapes are like a character in his scripts.
Oh yeah, like he likes he likes the vast, and he makes the town or the landscape, but the setting itself very much receptive to what's going on in his story, which I actually, you know, that's old school screenwriting back then.
Correct.
You don't get much of that.
Yeah, and you know, and that's how it's like that in Yellowstone, but he really gets to dive into it more in 1883 because the one of the protagonists is also the narrator, and it's very poetic what how
Mm.
she talks about each region that they're pioneering. Texas, Brazos River, going to the west. I mean, just all that. You're just like, it's just, I really, really love that stuff. I'm a big sucker for stuff like that.
Well, it's a fun period piece. I mean, it's
Mhm.
some of the stuff that he does right. I've heard some people comparing like it to like a variation of Deadwood in regards to like the Frontiersville and trying to figure out the place of everybody and what's going on and building the infrastructure and the social circles and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that type of stuff. It's fun because you give it a familiar enough setting that people can understand it, and then you explore new stories and character traits and decisions that infuse drama and get hopefully, if done well, get people on the edge of their seats and wanting to come back, and that's good. And the fact that it's content that's on another streaming service will hopefully help bolster some more competition with all the others, because if they're giving them this many shows, that's probably a sign of like faith based on success, as opposed to just filling a slot like with Bad Robot and Secret Hideout. And the fact that he's got this many, he's probably, because like he's probably going to be head of most development, or at least have his input in most development stuff that Paramount Plus will be doing in the future. It's kind of similar, I guess, in the way like how Greg Berlanti has a bunch of influence in stuff that's being developed at CW. Which that's going to change and roll over to HBO Max. And I think he's probably going to be, if the rumors are true with how much Warner Brothers likes James Gunn, it feels to me that Greg Berlanti might be having to take cues and work under whatever James Gunn ends up doing, which would be good, because the less he has to do and other voices being in charge of him, the better it would be for overall for a lot of the potential audience.
Yeah, this sends in $2 and says Dick Wolf has more shows on 2 networks. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I do know he has a lot of shows. I'm not sure how many still. But...
I'm shutting myself up because I can literally talk for 2 hours with script about this stuff.
No, you guys are fine, but I do actually have some Deadpool
I gotta go.
news.
I gotta go.
I
And
actually have
with
some
that,
Marvel Deadpool news, actually.
Oh,
It turns out because last week when the what was it? Last week when the Doctor Strange 2 trailer dropped and the
or
poster
something
came out?
like that. Yeah.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Sunday.
Well, Mikey Sutton was saying that he saw in the poster, along with some other people, that Deadpool is in the Shattered Glass.
Well, Deadpool's in it.
Yeah, and he's not been confirmed, but yeah, he's supposed to possibly be in it. And
Ryan Reynolds teased something.
yeah, he said, "I guess I'm not really supposed to say anything about that."
Yeah, that's the same. That's the
yeah.
same thing when he did with when the first time they were that animation of Deadpool came out. With him voicing Deadpool, and he was so sure he was not the one who leaked it.
Well, he was the one who leaked that, and well, the other part too is he posted on Instagram him in the suit, and yet the costume designer for Doctor Strange is in the background, and it's like,
Yep.
he immediately had to delete it. It's so.
Uh-oh. I didn't know about that.
You didn't know? Oh, that was.
No, I didn't.
That happened on Friday, I think.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
know
something
about
like that,
that. But Kevin Feige did recently confirm, though, that Reynolds is working hard on the script for Deadpool 3. So, as we've talked about before.
Did we get a director attached to that yet?
Not yet. That I know.
Hey,
of.
Man, it's Lou Diamond Phillips' birthday today.
Oh, is it? Well, happy birthday, Lou.
Happy birthday,
Mr. Phillips.
Not
that he's probably listening, but
well, he's trending, so I'll send him a tweet and tag us.
Send him our love.
Yeah, he was so cool, man.
He was awesome. That was one of my more giddy moments of meeting people. It's Richie.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, Lou.
Man.
And with that,
well,
yeah, I think we've pretty much hit most of the
Well,
news.
I mean, speaking of the Doctor Strange, there's
There's
rumors that there's
oh my God,
Reed Richards and Patrick Stewart are in there, and
well, we know Patrick Stewart is.
We know Patrick Stewart is in there, but
Yeah,
the Reed
you
Richards,
hear
I
his
think it
voice
might
too.
be Ian Grufford, Reed Richards, because it's his costume that's in the shot.
I didn't see that.
No, oh yeah, it's
And a lot of people
Ian has the
think-
one with the Fantastic Four logo over the left pec, as opposed to in the center.
Yeah, and I know that some people think that Blade is there because you see a guy with a sword on his back and a long coat.
I noticed that one, and I saw
Yeah.
Peggy Carter's costume in there.
Yeah, we saw the Invincible Iron Man in there as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it's looking interesting. I'm
We'll see.
wondering which one, like, because it's kind of confirmed that Reed Richards is in this MCU, but it would be interesting if they had the two Fox. You know, they have Patrick Stewart from Fox's X-Men, and I think they might have Ian Gruff from Fox's Fantastic Four in that as a cameo before they go into their own Fantastic Four stuff with John Watts in 2 years, I think it is.
I think it's around 2 years.
I think it's supposed to be out. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
guess we
it's
will
clearly
see.
the Illuminati that
Yeah,
they're
we'll see.
doing, which is, I mean, they're supervillains essentially. I think of them as supervillains.
Yeah, because Doctor Strange comes out in March, don't it? Or
Doctor Strange comes out in March, and he's a
March, yeah.
member of this super science group. It's Doctor Strange, Professor Xavier, Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and I think maybe one Bruce Banner, I think, but not Hulk. I can't remember. But yeah, they're basically just like, they try to dictate what the world is going to do, like supervillains.
Yeah.
we
I'm kind of a
must
little bit excited for it. I hope it will do good. I hope there will.
That
will
other
be some-
newest trailer got me a hell of a lot more excited than anything we'd seen prior. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only America Chavez was the only annoying part.
And I'm not even
But-
talking about the cameo bit. I'm talking about just the rest of the stuff
Yeah.
I saw. Like, because
Yeah,
everything that was at the
it's
end of
same
Spider.
Raimi.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like-
like everything at the end of Spider-Man that became that first trailer just felt like stuff from Thor: The Dark World. So I was like, ugh.
Yeah, but you'll have to watch the Marvel's What If you want to know what's going on in that. That's already been a leak
That's a
confirmed.
fucking look.
Yeah. All right, kids. Well, I'm supposed to head over to the Salty Nerd podcast if they're still going. It looks like they're still live.
Cool.
So it looks like Bambino has to go out, and I think we're all caught up on super chats and member chats. So thank you for that, kids. We appreciate that. We will see you tomorrow on the morning show. There's the link for me heading over to the Salty Nerd podcast. I don't know how much longer they're going to be going for, but head on over there, and I'll be
love
there in
those
just a few
guys.
minutes. Yeah. So see you guys then. Is anybody got anything going on that they want to plug real quick? Paulie, you got anything coming up?
He's muted.
Jace?
Polly? Well, me and my group, we are, we are working on making some new videos. We are gonna start, making more content with videos and reviews and articles and stuff like that. So I've been working a lot on stuff like that. So that's
Awesome.
and also I just want to say to the chat, just remember life's too short. Make the most of it. And everyone in this panel, we love every single viewer. So thank you for supporting us.
Except for you. You know who you are.
Hey, you said you weren't going to call me out anymore.
Oh, well.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm kidding.
Except for Ezra Miller, because we know he's in the
Yeah,
chat.
fuck you, Ezra. We know you're listening. You're hate
Fuckers
watching
in the
right
chat.
now.
Yeah,
Were you going to plug anything, Paulie?
I'll be on Lorena Crios in the morning.
Awesome.
Come on,
Awesome.
come on by. I know it's
Nice,
during your
nice.
time, but come
Have
on
a
by
good
for
time,
minute.
brother.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
That's all we do.
sadly, she's like stuck when she can stream. That's why she's unable to join us and stuff too.
I know.
But yeah,
I know. That's not, but...
It's one of those things. Mikey, you got anything going on? Script?
Nope. I mean, I'll be on Doomcocks this weekend, and
All right.
be around for the show tomorrow. So
Sounds good. All right. Hopefully, I see you guys over on the Salty Nerd podcast.
How dare you!